Good afternoon, everybody. This is P. Mason, P. Mason's Empowered, Christ-like Church, Pastor Mason. Listen, guys, today we came in, had our service today. It was a good time to get with the saints. We were sitting in there worshiping and praising the Lord. Today, the message came out of the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 12. And we were talking today about God's grace that is sufficient for us. And so the Apostle Paul, as we know, was beginning to share out of his heart the things that he saw before. He began to share like some of the things that he saw in heaven. He said he couldn't even be uttered. But the point that he was making was, he said, man, I'm giving such a great revelation from God. God is using me in such a mighty way. I would be a fool to sit here and glory in myself. And then he begins to mention that thorn that was in his side. He said, it was given to me, a thorn in my side, a messenger of Satan to buffet me. He said, I asked God 3 times to move this thing, and God said, my grace is sufficient for you. Paul doesn't go into what that thorn was. Over the years and probably over the centuries, we have been trying to dissect that and figure out what his thorn was. It does not matter. But can I tell you today that no matter what your thorn is, God's grace is sufficient for you, brother, sister. God's grace is sufficient for you. He said, my strength is made perfect in your weakness. Now, he's not talking about a weakness where you're just willingly sinful or anything like that. But what he is in fact talking about is that sometimes those things that we begin to deal with, sometimes those things that get in our way, sometimes those things that those little thorns, you know what I'm talking about, those little thorns that get in our way. Because Paul even goes down and he says, I also glory in persecution, distress, necessities, reproaches, all these things. And so it doesn't matter what happens to us. It doesn't matter what comes our way. The thorns that we face, whether it be somebody coming against you, whether it be you being in need, whether it be different things that are happening, whether it be just that thorn in your side, whatever that may be. God said, my grace is sufficient for you. My strength is made perfect in your weakness. Paul comes to this conclusion. He says that when I am weak, what happens? I'm strong. And so he says that I will glory in these things. Now, that doesn't mean we don't cry. It doesn't mean we don't go through. It doesn't mean that we don't experience certain things. But what it does mean is that he says, I'm glorying in the very fact that his grace is sufficient for me. His grace is sufficient for you. And so his grace will pick you up when you feel weak. His grace will be there to strengthen you when you feel down. Rest on his grace. Rest on his strength, people of God. Be encouraged. Again, this is P. Mason, P. Mason's Empowered Christ-like Church, Pastor Mason. Have a great day, guys. And if you are, in fact, viewing this on YouTube, do me a favor, hit the like, comment, share, subscribe. I love you guys much. Have a great day.